Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Palm Pod, the Peace of Mind podcast. I'm your host, Travis Gasper. Today, we're talking about one of the most adorable and sometimes most entertaining parts of estate planning for our pets. Now, I know what you're thinking. Estate planning for pets? Really? And my answer is yes. If you care about who feeds them, who loves them, and whether they keep getting those favorite treats and belly rubs when you're not around, then pet planning is essential. Our pets are family. They greet us at the door, keep us company when we're sad, and make us laugh when they're being ridiculous. So why wouldn't we make a plan for them, just like we do for the people we love? Today, I'll share why pet planning matters, some of the wildest stories of pampered pets, how pet trusts work, common mistakes, and a few practical tips. So grab your furry friend, give them a treat or a cuddle, and let's get started. For many of us, our pets aren't just pets, they're family. But here's the tricky part. The law doesn't see them that way. Legally, pets are considered property, the same category as your furniture or your car. That means if something happens to you and you don't have a plan, your pet could end up with someone you never intended. Or worse, with no one at all. I've seen cases where pets were passed along to relatives who didn't want them, or couldn't afford them, or simply weren't equipped to care for them. And sometimes pets have even ended up in shelters. That's heartbreaking, but it's also preventable. With a little bit of planning, you can make sure your pets are safe and loved. That's where pet trusts and clear instructions come in. Now, let's lighten things up with some fun stories, because pet planning has had some wild headlines. Take Leona Helmsley, for example. She left her dog Trouble, a tiny Maltese, a $12 million trust. $12 million. Trouble had bodyguards, gourmet meals, luxury grooming. The court eventually reduced the trust, but still, that pup lived better than most of us. Then there's Karl Lagerfeld, the fashion designer. He left a fortune to his cat, Choupette. This wasn't just any cat. Choupette was already a fashion icon with her own Instagram following and staff. And her lifestyle didn't slow down after Karl was gone. These stories sound wild, but here's the point. Planning for pets isn't just for the rich and famous. It's for anyone who loves their animals. And of course, I can't leave out my own girls, Pandora and Ms. Vanjie. They're a mother-daughter rescue duo. Their personalities give me life. Now, I don't think they're expecting Chanel collars or a $12 million trust, but I do want to make sure they're safe and happy if something ever happens to me. So how do pet trusts actually work? Don't worry, it's not complicated. Think of it as a roadmap for your pet's care. First, you name a caretaker. This is the person who will actually take your pet home, feed them, love them. Then, you can set aside money for your pet's expenses. Food, vet bills, toys, grooming, maybe even boarding. Next, you name a trustee. That's the person who manages the money and makes sure it's used properly. So the caretaker cares for the pet, and the trustee manages the money. That way, there's accountability. You can even leave detailed instructions, like what your pet eats, how often they need walks, or even what music calms them down. Here's a quick example. Say you leave $10,000 in a pet trust. The trustee can release funds for vet visits, food, or grooming. And you can decide what happens if money's left over when your pet passes. Maybe it goes to another family member. or maybe it's donated to a shelter. The point is, this isn't extravagant, it's practical, and it's affordable. Let's talk about mistakes. Mistake number one, assuming someone will just take them. That might be true, but it might not. People's lives change. They may not have the space, time, or money. Mistake number two, leaving money directly to your pet. Unfortunately, dogs and cats can't open bank accounts. Sorry, Vanjie. That's why you need a trust. Mistake number three, forgetting a backup caretaker. What if your first choice can't do it? Always name an alternate. And the biggest myth of all, that pet planning is only for rich people. Not true. You don't need millions. Even a small set aside with clear instructions makes a big difference. Here's a quick story. A client of mine had 3 cats. She adored them. She left instructions right down to their favorite sunbathing spots. It gave her so much peace of mind knowing her cats would keep their routines. And that's really what this is all about. For me, planning for Pandora and Ms. Vanjie isn't about extravagance. It's about love and responsibility. Making sure the ones who depend on us aren't left in the dark. All right, let's wrap this up. We've covered why pet planning matters, shared some celebrity stories, talked about how pet trusts work, and highlighted mistakes to avoid. At the end of the day, our pets give us unconditional love, and the least we can do is make sure they're cared for. If this episode got you thinking about your pets, I'd love to chat. At Gasper Law in Texas, we help families protect all their loved ones, including the furry ones. You can book a free peace of mind planning session at gasperlawpllc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to PalmPod so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening. Go give your pets some extra love today, maybe a belly rub or a treat. And until next time, here's to peace of mind for you and your family.